Finished its regular season. Two Husker coaches make decisions about where they will work next season.
First Alert 6 learned this evening that Nebraska's play caller is here to stay. Dana Holgorsen signed a 2-year deal to become the Huskers offensive coordinator. He coached 3 games for the Huskers at the end of the regular season. Nebraska tells us they will pay Holgorsen an annual salary of $1.2 million per year.
Earlier today, we found out Tony White will leave Lincoln for warmer weather. ESPN saying that White signed a 3-year deal to become the defensive coordinator for Florida State. Our Grace Boyles will have more on today's gigantic coaching news a little later in sports.